listening to
A to the K.
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 A to the K. WrestleTalk podcast.
Check it out. Change your life. You'll be thanking me later.
So can you believe it, Carl? We've interviewed the one and only Griff Garrison. And if you don't know who Griff Garrison is at this point, you need to know. He is, mark our words, a future star in the business.
Well, I mean, you know, the whole segment is called Who the Fuck is Griff Garrison? So
And
if you want to know who he is, what better segment to watch is all I'm saying.
You're goddamn right.
But no,
what
he
we
is a
did,
legend. Absolute legend.
because we're professionals. Because we're professionals, Griff, because I no doubt you're going to watch this back. We failed to ask you about your social medias. So because we like to do this and because we want to make sure that people know where to find the man, other than obviously on AEW and on Being the Elite and Sammy's Vlogs, Carl, can you tell us where they can find him on social media?
I can. He is findable via Instagram, Griff Garrison, via Twitter, Griff Garrison, via TikTok. Is he Griff Garrison there too?
I believe it's Griff Garrison again. Honestly, just search Griff Garrison. He's quite easy to find on social media, to be fair. He's an absolute ledge. And to be honest, I don't know if he still does it, but he likes his TikTok, so he's done a few TikTok dances if that's your bag. So check it out.
Well, I mean, we are TikTok famous, so anyone on TikTok listening to this, check him out. You know, maybe we can share the wealth. I'm pretty sure he's got significantly more followers than us anyway.
Yeah.
But to us,
at this point, we probably can't pay it forward, but we're fucking trying.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But no, a massive thank you publicly to Griff Garrison for being on the show.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. He's an awesome guy and genuinely a future star in the biz.
Absolutely.
So, Carl, shall we talk about this week in wrestling?
We shall. And as always, we kick off with Monday Night Raw.
Yes,
and
we
the
do.
card for this week's Raw. So this one was kind of all built around Survivor Series team qualifiers. So the first of which was AJ Styles taking on Jeff Hardy, with AJ Styles picking up the win. Also a match we've seen several times on SmackDown, I think. So not very new to the new era.
It's nice when they pull stars. Like, they have this draft split so you can get more of a mix and different people fighting different people. And we get the same shit we always get.
Oh, yeah.
This is quite literally same shit, different day.
It is. Very much is.
I feel mean saying that. I'm not a fan of Jeff, but it was a good match.
You're not a fan of Jeff?
Yeah, I hate to mention it. You know, I try and stay impartial and not offer any sort of bias, but
yeah,
not a fan of Jeff.
Of course. We also got the Lucha House Party taking on Tozawa and Gulak, which ended
the team now.
in a contest.
Okay.
Apparently, who knows? Who cares? We had a Firefly Funhouse segment, which was a bit of a Mad Hatter tea party.
You know what else is mad, Carl? The amount of people who are trying to figure out what the number on his fucking hat means.
Well, you know, I'm a bit like that myself. If you remember Lost, Anthony, we were quite obsessed with Lost.
Lost was
know what the numbers meant. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
and
then it turned out they didn't answer any questions.
Yeah,
thanks.
I'm pretty sure it's the same with Bray, if I'm honest.
Thanks,
but regardless,
JJ.
That happened. We had another Survivor Series qualifier with Elias taking on Keith Lee, with Keith Lee picking up the win.
Hold on. So am I right in saying, and Jeff doesn't like Elias, and Elias doesn't like Jeff, but neither one interfered in each other's matches?
I mean, I can't say that, but I can definitely agree with the first point you made. They don't like each other. We then got an elimination match with the Hurt Business taking on Retribution, and I cared so little about it, I've not written down any winners, but I'm pretty sure it was the Hurt Business.
I'm not going to say anything about Retribution's run in the business at the minute, but you know, I don't like to offer any sort of opinion on it. But I mean, do you fancy some squash, Carl? You want some squash?
Squash.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit thirsty. Do you want some squash?
I'm okay for a drink, but squash is good.
I know, at this point, it just feels like a massive squash, you know.
Then we had a women's Survivor Series qualifier, which was a 4-way, and we got to see Lacey take on Peyton, take on Lana, take on Nikki, because I've abandoned all last names, which is the reverse of what they've done with Matt Riddle. Sorry.
Yeah.
So It was actually Lana picking up the win in this one. So she becomes the final member of the predefined Women's Survivor Series team. And what a shit show that was. We then get a Survivor Series team qualifier again with Riddle taking on Sheamus. And not only did he take his first name, but they take his impressive win record because he loses this one as well.
Yes, he failed to take Sheamus to the mat.
Hey, Sheamus solved that riddle. That's all I'm saying. And the main event of the evening was a contest so grand it could headline a wrestle. Nope. Sorry, it was a Mona Bliss with Alexa Bliss.
Because that's how you close out the show.
Yeah, with a special guest of Randy Orton. It wasn't that bad, to be fair, but yeah.
Actually, yeah, it went. Do you know what? We'll talk about that when you talk about your highlights.
On paper, it seems a bit shit, but it wasn't that bad. But I'll tell you what, Anthony. I've been very critical of Raw over the past few weeks. Quite recently, it's had scores of 0, 0.5, and 1. This week, it was much better.
You can actually look back in the 8 of the K wrestling talk history there to find that information.
You can. The archives, if you will. Maybe we'll add that to the website at one point.
The archives.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Although I do love a spreadsheet, so maybe one day. But anyway, I digress. So, the highlights, if you will. So, AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy was pretty solid, to be fair, and it's no surprise because these guys have worked together a lot over the years. SmackDown, very recently, TNA before that.
So you're telling me that him and Jeff can put on an actual match that's worth watching, and Jeff doesn't just get ragdolled around the ring like some sort of insane underdog like normal?
Well, you still did get ragdolled a bit, but it is Jeff. But yeah, no, I thought match-wise it was pretty fine, to be fair. I think you can just tell, with some people like Jeff and Sheamus, for example, was terrible because they didn't have any chemistry. I've just had a Stuart Francis joke come back into my head. It's like, me and my chemistry didn't get along. We just didn't have any rapport.
You've credited where the joke come from. It's fine. We'll leave it in.
It's fine. Stuart Francis, comedian. Check him out. But yeah, so these guys put on a pretty decent match, to be fair. Obviously, AJ Styles' bodyguard got involved again a little bit. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, though, even though it was solid, it didn't really blow me away at all. But at the same time, it wasn't deserving of a no shite. As you maybe alluded to in the rundown of the matches, Anthony, who turned up? It was Elias.
Oh no, shock.
He basically battered Jeff with his guitar after the match. So
I'm totally on Elias' side. I'm not sure who's meant to be the bad guy in this tale. But yeah, Elias is there having his concert, minding his own business. And then Jeff comes along and he's like, nah, I'm going to hit you with a guitar.
I love your disdain for Jeff Hardy. I can't wait until I get him to agree to come on the podcast. And then you've just got to face him.
Hey, Jeff, huge fan. Please don't look at the old ones. Huge fan.
Love all your work. I've never said a bad word about you. Nope.
I'm gonna help Curry a little bit of favor right now, right? I don't want to say this, Jeff, if you're listening, which you're probably not.
Obviously.
I only ever talk about the character. As a person, you're a legend, and I will always give you that respect. I'm only ever talking about the character, and I do the way WWE booking you as this perpetual underdog pisses me off. But I'm talking about the character. I'm not talking about the real Jeff Hardy. To the point that some of the work he did in Impact, as much as I didn't really follow TNA, was a lot more creative than what you're doing now. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from with that.
Yep. So Jeff,
back to This Week in Wrestling.
He doesn't have a problem with you. He has a problem with your character as a human being. We then got Drew McIntyre versus The Miz. No, we didn't. I've skipped about 4 segments.
Yes,
my bad.
We're on
so
the highlight.
We got
the Drew McIntyre thing.
Yeah. Next, we got a Firefly Funhouse, which was mad as fuck. So, as I alluded to, it was based around like a Mad Hatter's Tea Party. We got to see Alexa Bliss in the Funhouse with a.
Yep. Never a bad time. Never
a bad time.
Do you know what really surprised me with this, Cal? I've had 3 whiskeys, so I'm, rambling a bit. But what really surprised me was in the PG era that she slipped Ramblin' Rabbit cyanide and just totally killed him. Like,
well, I mean,
wow, that didn't feel very.
Every episode, pretty much these days. But
yeah,
cyanide.
But that was really, really specific. Like, I don't know. They showed you the vomit and everything. It was weird.
Yeah, it was definitely weird. But I don't know. I think we both were a bit dubious about Alexa being, in this whole thing with the Fiend and stuff like that.
I must admit, I was apprehensive.
She's fucking nailed it, to be honest. And I'll come on to it in the main event segment. But even in the Funhouse, I thought she was fantastic, and the whole kind of like kooky, kind of playful thing that she does, and then all of a sudden she goes very serious. New contacts.
What I'll give her, right?
I don't want to know what you'll give her. It's PG.
We're not that kind of show, Cal. No, what I'll give it is like even just little notes that really speaking aren't going to lead anywhere, but just so character building. Like when Roman Reigns came out after she had a match, and she just hated Roman Reigns all of a sudden because obviously he took the belt from Bray, and that's not even relevant now on Raw. But she was still doing that, and it's still that character building. And I think it's fair play to Alexa. She throws herself into those characters and into that character work.
Yeah, massively. I think she has consistently excelled in any form of character work. Like even back to NXT days when she was managing fucking Buddy Murphy and that other guy. Who knows who he was? Who was that guy? Who was that guy? I don't know.
Who's that guy?
La 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 la. But yeah, like even back then, like fantastic character work, and she just built on that, and now something which we thought, oh, this is going to be bad. She's managed to turn chicken shit into chicken salad, as I like to say.
Yeah.
So,
and to be fair, she's working with another person who is very much that type of person. Bray is another person who will do his utmost to work with that character work. He is notably a very creative guy. Like the WrestleMania thing with John Cena it was heavily sort of written by Bray, as I gather. I know John had involvement and agreement with a lot of stuff, but like that guy's got a future. Like backstage when he's ready to hang up his boots, he's incredible with his story work as well. In all fairness,
yeah, definitely. But yeah, I thought it was a really fun segment. We then got Keith Lee versus Elias, which was actually all right, to be fair. I think Elias, I was super impressed with Elias. Like, I know he's been missing for a while, but at the same time, he busted out some mad shit. Like, Keith Lee is, like, quite well known for being, like, really agile for his size. But fucking Elias is a big dude. And he was busting out fucking Hurricane Ranas and everything in this match.
Well, unfortunately, Keith Lee's not allowed to be agile for his size now because they've give that to the Freak.
Okay.
So Keith just has to stand there now, I'm afraid.
We're going to come on to that fucking promo.
I'll be honest, if you look at the notes, Carl, which I don't know if you have, I didn't even fucking remember to mention it.
Was that?
About that.
But yeah, so I thought this match was actually really good, to be fair. And yeah, so obviously Keith Lee ended up winning it. But yeah, it was because of a distraction by Jeff Hardy. His music played. And do you know what? I quite like this in a sense. Another reason why it's part of my highlights is the fact that, Jeff Hardy lost the match and then Elias got him afterwards. Whereas this one, like, I think they're booking Elias strong, which I think is good because he's not at that level of booking in ages. Do you know what I mean?
He just echoed Vince McMahon there.
It's good shit.
Make Roman look strong.
Make Elias.
Don't wait to take the win, but make Roman look strong.
But no, like to be fair, if you look back at Elias, like I know I am quite a big fan of him, and I think he's been underutilized quite a bit.
Do you know what? Like, I didn't think much of him. I'll be honest. And it was you who told me, like, he's got something, and I'll be fair, like, yeah, he is underutilized, and there's something there, and I do think he could be a big talent in the business.
I mean, I am pretty much Mystic Meg in terms of picking out.
No, honestly, WWE, if you're looking for new people, which we know you're not, you're sacking people instead. If you're looking for new people, Carl would be a great booker, as far as I'm concerned.
There you go. Just set me up, guys. I'll let you know who's good, who's not. But yeah, the match itself, I thought it was really good, to be fair. But yeah, Hardy's music played, distracted Elias, and then Keith Lee ended up getting the Spirit Bomb. And then Hardy attacked him after the match. So, retribution. But yeah. So, as you said, who knew these guys who were feuding, neither of them would make their way into their fucking team. And, what's going to happen? Maybe they'll have their own match. Booking. So back to the thing I started speaking about 20 minutes ago, Drew and The Miz. So earlier in the night, I'm surprised I've not really mentioned it, to be fair. Probably because, was it a no shite? Who knows? But the way we kicked off the show was Drew McIntyre coming out and being a bit like, oh, well, I lost my belt and all that kind of stuff, but don't think, it's the end of me. I'm going to come after it, blah, 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 blah. And then The Miz comes out and was like, well, I've won the Money in the Bank, so, who cares about you? It's me who's got the next shot, blah, blah, blah. And Drew isn't impressed at all, and so he gets pretty pissed off and decides he's going to make Miz's life a bit of a hell for the rest of the night. So he books... he gets Adam Pearce, I guess, who's the booker now. Who knows? But a match is booked.
I don't think anyone's sure what Adam Pearce is.
I don't even think Adam Pearce knows who he is. But he.
I'm waiting for the storyline where it turns out he's not even employed by WWE.
He just turns out he's a rogue fan who they just haven't got rid of.
Like Triple H or Steph turned up one week and like, who the fuck is this guy? Just worked his way in there.
Vince, in his senile ways, is like, hey, Steve Austin, you okay? He's like, you shave your beard?
Go get him.
Makes me think back to that time we had Michael Tarver in NXT as part of Nexus, and he spoke up once in a backstage meeting, and Vince was like, you know what, Shelton, you've got a couple. He was like, oh. Anyway.
Oh, that's so bad.
Vince McMahon things. But yeah, so in fairness, I thought the match itself was good. Short, and it needed to be. And I think a lot of people have been a bit upset about the fact that The Miz has won the Money in the Bank contract, and now all of a sudden he's jobbing. And it's like, well, no. Like, if anything, it makes sense to book Drew.
Here's the thing, right? Realistically, and okay, it's wrestling, right? Before anyone fucking jumps on it, it's wrestling. I get it, right? But realistically, can you have Miz go over Drew? He's a fucking mountain. It just wouldn't make sense. Don't care about your Money in the Bank briefcase. Not without major shenanigans. There's a definite size difference there.
I mean, there's definitely been Rey Mysterio beating people clean I think he beat the Big Show clean at one point.
Let's be honest, Carl. Like, I've made it very clear I have my reservations about Rey Mysterio in the heavyweight division.
I mean, you have made these reservations.
No, I'm all on board for
more meals.
Yes. Reservations everywhere. No, I'm all for the Miz sort of jobbing out. It doesn't ruin his chances because the point of the Money in the Bank is being opportunistic, isn't it? He's going to wait until hang on, it's Randy this time. He's going to wait until they're like down and battered and exhausted. That's when he's going to. It doesn't matter if they've got him beat. In fact, it actually builds to the story in some senses, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah.
He's being opportunistic, and then it's a case of how long can he keep hold of it. They're going to be going for him.
Exactly. So for me, I don't see it as like a bad thing. I think it makes perfect sense. It keeps Drew looking strong after his loss, and The Miz doesn't need to look strong because it's all about the opportunity, as you've said. So yeah, for me, I thought it was good. And we then got Sheamus versus Riddle, which again was actually quite solid, to be fair. I was quite surprised though with this booking choice because I don't know what Matt Riddle has done, or Riddle, because we can't say his name. I don't know what the Riddler has done.
You know what he's done.
Well, there's speculation what he's done. But at the same time, he must have done fucking something because he's now lost this one as well to Sheamus. And it's not like Sheamus is getting booked to the moon. Do you know what I mean? So, like, why, Riddle, who they brought up as this kind of the next future star and all this kind of stuff.
I know they made a massive deal. They had Kurt Angle introduce him and everything. Yeah, now he's jobbing to Sheamus.
Yeah, and like, I don't want to tempt fate, but who do you know who's had a name change where it's been like a name reduction that it's worked well for?
Well, obviously, the Freak, Lars Sullivan, who lost both his names.
Yeah. But I don't know. I thought the match itself was fine, but it was just a bit of a surprise.
No, I've got another one, Carl. Clearly, Bull Buchanan. Like, his career really soared when he became B-Squared.
Yeah, that is true, actually. You've got me there. You're right. You are right. Do you remember that? Jesus Christ. We have lived through some shit, man. We have lived through some shit.
Honestly.
This was
WWE giving us PTSD, man. It's crazy.
This was around about the time Carlito hired Jesus to stab John Cena in a nightclub. This is what we lived through.
That was genuine. That was a storyline.
now when I'm giving me ratings on shows and like you bring this shit up, I'm just like, am I too harsh? Because when you think about it, shit. But anyway,
Thing is, though, we were much younger back then. We were like, "Oh my god, he's gonna stab him!" Like
he is gonna stab him.
it's yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, to be fair, for Sheamus Riddle, which on paper is like, oh, that's gonna be shit. Even on paper, it's quite bad to say that because they're both solid workers. But you just think, well, Sheamus has done fuck all in ages. Matt Riddle's done fuck all. And
That's kind of the problem.
it was good.
Like, not so much Matt. Yeah, I mean, you're totally
Who,
right.
sorry?
But not so much Riddle. I mean, you are
Oh.
totally right, but he has had some good matches, at least in the last few months. Sheamus, like, I think this is one of them things that WWE do that they don't realize doesn't work, and that's where he'll come out and he'll beat somebody we've never heard of, and he'll do that every other week to prove that he's powerful. And it's like, but like, what's happening? It doesn't really work well for building him. Like, don't be wrong, there's always a time and opportunity for a monster to squash someone, but like, I remember there was like 3 or 4 weeks in a row where that Sheamus was just coming out and beating a random performance center talent. And it's like, okay, but where are you going with this? And then he decided he hated Jeff.
Well, every week, Anthony, during his matches, they brought up Jeff Hardy. So, you know,
but that's like, it's like, well, maybe Michael Cole's just doing his job. I don't want to defend Michael Cole here, but we're going to have a segment about Jeff. Maybe he's going to announce that, Sheamus.
Don't be a coal miner. Ugh.
Oh, nice. That's a shit way to happen.
And then the main event, Anthony, of the evening actually makes its way into my highlights, even though it's not really a main event. But we had a moment of bliss, and it's always blissful with Bliss. I think we'll agree. It's always a bit of bliss with Bliss. Yeah, it was a very weird way to end the show, so I'm not going to shy away from that.
I've never, I could be wrong, and apologies, because people might relish at the opportunity to correct us, but have we ever closed on this sort of segment?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't feel as confident to say we definitely haven't, but at the same time, it must be few and far between.
But I weren't confident, that's why I phrased it as a question rather than a statement.
But to end on a weird talk show with Alexa Bliss hosting Randy Orton seems on paper like, what the fuck? But it was pretty good.
Oh yeah. Do you know what this really highlighted? Sorry, go on. Go on.
No, go on.
This is your highlight, Carl.
No, you fucking done it now. Go on.
Like, I didn't even pick up on how many obstacles or opponents Randy potentially had until this segment. As stupid as it sounds, like, he's got the Fiend gunning for him, he's got Drew gunning for him, and then he's got the Miz sort of waiting like a little snake. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
almost like a viper.
This is probably the toughest title reign he's ever had, which I would not have realized without Moment of Bliss. So that's why I think it was actually worth being a highlight, because they did well at showing you everything in a way. Do you know what I mean? I know they didn't really focus on the Miz, but they got the point across really well that, like, shit, like, this is probably the hardest time he's had as champion, because there's multiple people gunning for him here. I enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah,
definitely. I think it was so interesting, the fact that he came out and it was like, he's won the belt and he's the champion now, blah, blah, blah. And, I thought Alexa played her role fantastically in this as well.
Oh, yeah.
But Drew comes out and it's like, oh, okay, so they're not done with this. And then the lights go out and then the Fiend is there and it's like, oh, okay. And there was this like beautiful moment where it was like, Drew came down, they started getting fisticuffs. Alexa was sat on the fucking on the ropes, just maniacally laughing, like the fucking crazy bitch she is. So that was great.
Said with love, by the way.
And then the lights go out, and then they come back on, and Randy Orton's on the ramp. Drew's in the ring, and Randy's got this choice to make, and he doesn't realize it because behind him is the Fiend, and he's staring him down, and in front of him is Drew McIntyre, and then suddenly he's like, well, shit, I bet the Fiend's behind me, and we don't actually see him look over his shoulder, but we kind of get this like sense of he knows. And
it makes sense that he knows, because he knows what's happened with Alexa, so he knows what was going to happen with a Moment of Bliss in some sense.
Exactly. So, like, in that moment, he has to make that choice, and he chooses to go for Drew. and he just completely disregards the fact the Fiend's even there. And he goes after Drew, and they have a bit of a fucking fisticuffs and stuff. And then it kind of goes off air with them two brawling again.
I love that.
Little fisticuffs, and it goes off air with them brawling again. And I think Orton had the upper hand as we went off air. So, yeah, bit of two very weird weeks in a row for Raw in terms of endings. Like the previous week, Orton got in Hell in a Cell, and it was like, are they going to fight? And then we just didn't see it. This week it's like they're fighting, and we just don't see what happens. So it's a bit like,
see, I mean, this is like they seem to have got this new thing with Raw where they like to end while stuff's still happening.
Yeah,
almost to make it feel like we're just getting a window into the world. Like, we don't get to see it all really.
If it was meant to drive more people to like WWE.com and like go and check out what you missed, it would make sense. But it's just like, no, we're going to end the show here, and you'll find out in a week's time.
I think they should go all in with this, and I think we should get to Monday, right? And the show opens with two of them just exhausted, like
be fighting the whole week. You know what? Like for me, I would love it if we open up and it's like, so Randy Orton killed Drew McIntyre last Monday. It's like, oh shit! Like, you know what I mean? Like
he's have to drop the belt because he's facing serious charges.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But no, I do agree with you that definitely deserves to be a highlight. As much as you didn't like going into it, you didn't think it was going to be. It definitely proved that it was the right way to end the show.
Cool. So it wouldn't be Raw, Anthony, without a series of O-shites, and there were some in this, as expected. So in terms of how the show started off, I've alluded to it before. So Drew comes out, but before he could get going, Miz and Morrison come out, and he gets interrupted, and it leads into like a big scuffle leading towards a match later in the night. And for me, like, I get the fact that the match was okay, and I get the fact that, you know, it makes sense and he's a threat and stuff like that, but post belt change for Drew to come out and be like, I'm angry, and then Miz to come out, it just felt a bit flat for me. It was just a bit like, this isn't the way you should open the show.
I don't want to harp on because I mentioned this before, but I'm totally and kind of on board with the Drew coming out and being angry. That directly connects to what happened. The Miz getting involved at this point, it doesn't feel like a Miz thing to do, like, because he's not that kind of character. Like, he's reluctant to go up against Otis one-on-one. That had to be sanctioned by a fake court ran by JBL. Anyway, but like for me, it's like, well, this is the whole point, as I mentioned before. It's opportunistic. You're going to wait till he's at his weakest point to try and capitalize on your Money in the Bank. So why are you going to come out and talk shit now? It just he's not even the title holder, but even so, like, it doesn't make any sense. He's not. I know. Don't be wrong. They'll often have people on their show and they'll often talk shit, but like usually when they think they've got the upper hand, like I don't see how he thinks he's got the upper hand with Drew McIntyre. It felt a little bit like more stupid than the Miz would normally do for me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, he knew what was going to happen, so why do it?
Yeah, and I think the whole John Morrison role at the minute doesn't make sense either to me. He's just...
I feel so sorry for Morrison.
He's like the Miz's weird little comedic sidekick, except he's not even funny. So it's a bit like... It's a bad place to be.
Yeah. Although I'm confident that they think it's funny. So
maybe.
I'm definitely ready for a Morrison solo run. They don't even need to do any dramatic feud or breakup between the two of them. Let them have some solo matches. Let them have a bit of prominence.
I mean, I definitely want to see the breakup, though. Like 100%. Like, that is what I want to see next for Morrison.
I must admit, like you know, I respect your opinion on that, but I'm not even that asked about it. If they just book, like, if they just remember that Morrison's actually part of the roster and book him in matches, that would be nice.
Oh yeah, no, I think that is definitely something which we should see. But at the same time, I think the way he's just playing like second fiddle to the Miz, he should like do like a wake up angle where he's like, well, hang on, why the fuck am I playing second fiddle to the Miz? Like, I'm John Morrison, Miz? Like, and then like, yeah.
No, I mean, let's face it, that would be a better feud than I don't know, Otis versus Tucker.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think, or I would like to assume, it's going to lead towards that for Mania. Maybe Miz and Morrison as
and just kind of keeping it on the boil, ready for that.
I think when we did the fantasy booking episode where we did Mania, I think that was one of the ones that I predicted. So hopefully it comes true just so I can be right more than
You know
anything.
what? We may have to revisit that just to see how right we went.
That is a very good. Do you know what? We've never actually done that, have we? Just gone back to an old episode of shit that we said and listened to it and gone, we were full of shit.
Oh, fuck.
What a dick that guy was.
This is so bad.
So that's definitely worth a shot. But yeah, for me, I thought it was a very weak start to the show post pay-per-view. Then we got a tag match, which I said before, which was fucking Tozawa and Gulak taking on... who did they take on? Let me look back. They took on...
Some guys.
They took on...
Who did
they take on?
Lucha House Party, obviously.
Oh, there you go. Lucha House Party. That is how unmemorable this match was. It was pointless. Yeah. Fucking pointless. It didn't even need to happen.
So pointless.
The match happened. They fought
also,
each
they've
other.
forgotten what's happening with the Lucha House Party now.
Well, exactly. So, like, apparently they were fucking imploding, weren't they? And Callisto was all, like, angry and whatever. That's been forgotten. Now it's Lucha House Party taking on these.
Do you know what it was? They needed to be on Raw. That's all it was.
Oh, okay. That's fine. But yeah, like, it just didn't make any sense. And, like, and it was pointless because... Firstly, why did you book these as a match in the first place? Then secondly, well, R-Truth's going to come down, and it's like, well, suddenly everyone shifts their attentions towards the title, and he's running away, and it's fucking stupid. It accomplished nothing. It was just a waste of TV time. It was almost like, well, we've got 20 minutes to fill, guys. What do we do? And it was like, well, let's do something with the 24/7 title. Yeah, that's the way I feel.
Like at this point, the only logical way to book that title would be to have nobody care about the title except for Truth. And the segments are just him going around thinking everyone's after it when no one is. Like, because that's the reality of it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Make it happen. Make it happen, wrestling. Make it happen.
It's an ugly fucking title as well.
And just when you think, Anthony, that you couldn't get lower than the 24/7 title, oh, well, R-Truth has got some retribution because... See what I did there. What the fuck happened with this whole Mia Yim stuff? So she pops up on the apron during the match.
I really don't know what they thought this was.
And starts going like itching, convulsing, dropping in the ring. And it's like, and then all of a sudden MVP gets distracted and then he ends up taking a pin. But that's not even the end of the match. So it's like, okay, now the match carries on because it's a fucking elimination match. And they just don't even mention it again. And it was like, well, what happened? Not only is the fact that, well, apparently, like, I thought Mia Yim was called Reckoning now. And the announce team where they're going, what's Reckoning doing? And then the referee's like, Mia, you okay, Mia? And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they went to him, you have to call her Reckoning. He's like, I can't say that. That's, no.
I ain't doing that shit. It was awful. Like, I can't think of a more cringeworthy, like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, do you know what? I could not show anybody who isn't
not to delve
that segment and go, yeah, I do a podcast on wrestling. It is what it is.
This could be a future segment for us where you talk about what would you show people to get them into wrestling or to highlight wrestling.
Not that.
Right? But, like, the only way you could get more cringe would be, I don't know, going on Twitter after the fact and then talking about how even though you lost, you still kind of won. You know, something as stupid and cringeworthy as that. Maybe that might be a little bit worse.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure now Retribution are dead in the water. So
faster than Nexus.
Nice to know you. We then got this weird little segment, which it was pretty much nothing. And normally on a show, I wouldn't really mention it. But at the same time, it was just so fucking bad and cheesy. I want to mention it. So you had Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke in the back. They're chatting some shit. And then fucking Baszler and Jax come over and were like, oh, well, you know, we're the tag team champions. And then Dana Brooke and fucking Mandy are like, but we've never lost. So we should be the captains of the team. And they're like, okay. And then Angel Garza's there, and he's like...
You've never lost, haven't you? Only had, like, 2 matches?
Exactly. And it's like, Angel Garza's there, and he's like...
I've never lost.
So, are you still with Otis? And she's like, well, Otis, I mean, we still talk. He's like, oh. And then he offers it to fucking Nia Jax, and Nia Jax like, no. And then the segment ends, and then Nia's there, like, sniffing the rose, going, what? Like, as though she's now into Gaza. And it's like,
So what? Like,
what?
what's this? Like, Garza's gone from being a Lothario to sort of desperately running around backstage trying to give his rose to whoever.
Anyone, yeah. So he's gone from the...
And that's no slight to Nia Jax. It just seems like he was like, someone take the rose.
Well, yeah, it's gone from Charlie Caruso to fucking weird bachelor fucking lady to, well, nobody else wants me. Nia Jax.
Now, I don't watch The Bachelor, Carl, but isn't the concept of that you give them a rose?
Yeah.
So, like, he's basically, like, legit ripping off The Bachelor. Never mind the Bachelor lady being in it, but that's legit.
But I think, like, I'm going to try and transport myself into Vince McMahon's crazy mind. So please forgive me if I start convulsing like fucking me.
Yeah, that's fine.
But,
yeah.
Right? Transporting there, he's going, well, Angel Garza, he's Latin. Eddie Guerrero was Latin. He had roses. He was Latino heat. Angel Garza, you should be Latino heat for the new generation. And he's like, okay, I'll start asking out people then.
We can't fully rip it off, so we're going to call you Latin Fire.
Exactly. Exactly. And then they're like, the writing team's like, well, Angel Garza's got a rose, and there's this show called The Bachelor, which is, really popular right now. About 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it was popular.
And weirdly, this girl's hanging around backstage who was in The Bachelor, so...
yeah, we don't know why she's here, but since she's here, and she's in The Bachelor... She's
literally been here for weeks.
Yeah, we're going to connect the dots. Like, what the fuck is this shit? But anyway...
I don't even know.
Yeah, and then the final shite of the week.
And sorry, before you go on to that though, isn't it lovely to end the whole big, as much as I didn't like it, to end the whole big romance article angle with Mandy Rose and Otis, with her going, well, we still talk.
Yeah,
that's that's
that is the end.
So all the people who were into that love story, as insane as you were,
exactly,
that's how it ended.
So they are now just talking. So in other words, they are done. They are done, guys.
Yeah.
They're done. Get over it. They're
done.
But yeah, so the last shite was the Fatal 4-Way match, which was pretty shit, if I'm honest. So the whole point was they've already decided, because Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke are undefeated, and because the tag team champs are the champs, that they'll be the 4 women who are representing the women's team, and now there's one spot available. And so they have this Fatal 4-Way match, and who wins it? Lana. So amazing. Lana's won it. So not only has she been successful in winning and getting a title shot, she's now won it. She's on the Survivor Series team. She goes out to congratulate her friends. Nia Jax buries the hatchet. Nope. Picks her up and buries her through a table again. So I've lost count now, honestly.
What is this? I think this is 5. What is this?
I don't know, Anthony. I don't know.
You really can't give her victories and still smash her through a table and call it like a push. It's not a push. Also, like, how can you go over, do the draft, and totally fucking pilfer SmackDown for all their great women's talent, which you fucking did, by the way, and then still book Lana winning? No offense, Lana, but still book Lana winning?
No idea.
What are they doing?
No idea. I don't even think they know, if I'm honest. But anyway, I digress.
Anyway.
That was Raw, Anthony. And I had quite a few shites, but at the same time, I had quite a few highlights. So for me,
more so than usual,
this was definitely a much better Raw than I've been subjected to for the past couple of months. So with that being said, I would like to give this a 2 out of 5 because, and for me, that is good for Raw because historically it gets 0 to 1. So in all fairness, a 2,
I'm totally with you.
I think it's pretty healthy.
I'm going to give it a massive 2 as well. I'm
massive 2.
Totally good. A bit, yeah. No,
big
it's
smelly 2. Yeah.
It wasn't the best, but it's been better than it has been in the last few weeks. Which, for the flagship show, is still shocking, by the way.
Oh yeah. Well, is it the flagship show now?
I don't know. Like, there was a time, like, I was watching as a kid. I knew I was watching the secondary show, watching SmackDown. I knew that. I didn't have the sports channel, so I watched SmackDown, right? And now, it's a better option, let's be honest.
Well, I mean...
Well, maybe not, actually.
I'm not sure about that, but...
I've seen the draft,
It's
So
a bigger
maybe
deal in terms of the Fox money. But at the same time, the
2
draft.
weeks ago, Carl. 2 weeks ago, it was a better option.
Yeah, agreed.
Tell you fuckers come along. You
Hey.
red brand stole all our talent.
So now, not only do I have the superior Wednesday night show, and I have the superior flagship show,
Basically,
which is Raw.
Yeah, that's what's happened here. I can't wait till the next draft. You'll see.
We'll all see.
But speaking of NXT, Carl, speaking of Wednesday night, obviously this week we had Halloween Havoc. With Halloween being around the corner, obviously makes sense.
Yeah.
So we have basically Shotzi just screaming and howling. That's what she does. But she's the host, so it's fine. As far as the card goes, we open, weirdly, with Gargano going up against Priest for the North American title in a Devil's Playground match, which was basically a anything goes kind of thing. Like, they didn't fully clarify what a Devil's Playground was. And you know what? I'll rant in a minute, right? But we saw Gargano take the win, so Gargano is now the North American title holder. And I'll get your opinion on that shortly, Carl. But anyway, we then saw Pat McAfee come out, and McAfee, I don't know how you pronounce it, whatever. He come out and cut a promo, obviously over his involvement last week, addressing that sort of situation. And yeah, I'm on board for that. It's looking good. We saw Jake Atlas going up against Santos Escobar for the Cruiserweight title, I believe, with Escobar taking the win. We saw the start of the Dexter Lumis versus Cameron Grimes match, which is the House of Horror match or whatever the fuck it was. But only the start of that clusterfuck. Then we cut to Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez, with Rhea Ripley taking the win. We then go to the end of the Cameron Grimes versus Dexter Lumis match, with Dexter Lumis taking the win, if you can call it that, because the whole thing was fucking weird. And then we close the night out, Carl, with Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai in a women's tables, ladders, and scares match, with Io Shirai taking the win.
See what they did.
Yeah, it wasn't good. So, as far as the highlights go, in all fairness, the Gargano match was ace. It was awesome. And I didn't think I'd ever say that in a match that involved Gargano, who I think is overbooked, and Priest, who I don't like. But here we are. They put on a fucking brilliant match together. It was thoroughly enjoyable. That spot where he did the DDT using the Wheel of Mayhem, or whatever the fuck they call it, was fucking brilliant. Like, they did some really high spots. He threw him into that fake graveyard thing. The whole thing, like, it, even just taken apart from the high spots, the whole match was just brilliant. The only gripe I have with it is the fact that Gargano was like, like, oh, I can't believe I got the Devil's Playground match. It's like, that's one of the better matches. You can now use weapons. Why are you moaning? Like, better than being buried alive. But all in all, I thoroughly enjoyed this match. I don't know what you thought of it, Carl, but I actually really enjoyed this opener.
I thought it was good. I would not say it was great. I think the lack of clarity on what the match was didn't help.
That probably didn't help, yeah.
But then also, like, there were some pretty good spots in there, and like the DDT that you mentioned and stuff was quite good. But I don't know, it definitely wasn't bad by any means. But at the same time, I didn't feel like it was great either. I just felt like it was okay.
Now, I don't know how you feel about this. I might be a little bit biased as well, because a lot of people weren't happy that Damian Priest's run with the North American title was so short. I was quite happy with that, because I wasn't overly enamored with him taking the title anyway.
No, I don't mind that, to be honest, because I agree. I don't think he's got the character or the persona to hold that title for that longer time. So that didn't bother me. It was just more the match itself. Like, it wasn't bad, but at the same time, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what I was watching. I didn't know what to expect. But not in a good way. It was just kind of like stuff's happening.
Well, even commentary failed to explain what this fucking match was.
Yeah, and it was
the
like,
best you get is like, right, so your falls count anywhere, and you can use, so it's a no GQ match, sort of. No falls count anywhere, no D-squad, whatever. Devil's Playground, fuck it, yeah, it's called that.
They had the masked lady come out and obviously contribute to his win, which I thought was fine considering the circumstances of obviously COVID getting in the way.
Yeah, it's one of them. Like, it's clear who the lady is going to be, you know. But Yeah, again, it's solid booking in a way. They've foreshadowed it all. They've put it well. One of him or Candice LeRae was going to win, and I think this was the better choice. No spoilers, but Candice doesn't. So to me, I think this was the right choice, and it was a good match. I thoroughly enjoyed. The next highlight, Carl. I don't know how you feel about this one. It's only a daft one. Wade Barrett coming in costume as Bad News Barrett. I thought it was a nice little tongue-in-cheek joke. Brought his little gavel with him.
Yeah, agreed. I thought it was just so funny. He was like, "Who the fuck are you meant to be?" He's like, "I'm Waldo." It's like, well, at least I come in a costume. Who are you? It's like, well, I'm the best superstar of all time. I'm Bad News Barrett.
Pulled out his little guy, and he even did the line.
I'm afraid I got some bad news. Yeah, I loved it.
So that little tongue-in-cheek joke made me laugh. Next highlight, Pete Dunne's back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thoroughly on for this. Like, all right, it was in a weird sort of heel turn where he came out to defend O'Reilly and then didn't. Okay, didn't even know they were mates. I'm probably not as invested as maybe I would be if I'd been watching NXT when Pete Dunne was actually there. But even so, yeah, I'm all for Pete Dunne being back. He's a ledge. So, yeah, let's see where they go with this. It's going to be interesting. And last highlight for me, Carl, and this is one for you, in all fairness, is I spotted an Evertonian in the crowd with his Everton shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the Everton wrestling guy? It
probably is, because I believe he's almost quite well known now in the NXT crowd. So, yeah, Everton shirt spotted. I can't remember what match, sadly, but it was during one of the women's matches. So, there you go.
Well, I think I've spoken to him on Twitter, I think, on my personal account. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And he was like, it's me. So maybe we'll get him on the show at one point.
We should. That would be interesting, actually. I thoroughly enjoy that. An Evertonian and a wrestling fan. Like, who else is there other than Carl?
That's true.
So, the only shite I've got, Carl, surprisingly. But it was a good night. It was a good night. Right? But the only shite I've got, Grimes versus Loomis. I don't know if this resonated with some people. It didn't work for me. This was literally 20 minutes of Cameron Grimes running around in the dark, being scared of stuff and screaming. There was really not much Loomis. There was not much match. And it was just like weird zombie ladies who were doing like weird backwards crawls, like they're coming out of the Grudge or the Ring or whatever the fuck that film was. And I don't know. It didn't gel. I never really was a fan of Loomis and Loomis and Grimes. Yeah, that was right, in a match anyway. So the fact that we didn't really even get a match just confused me. To be honest, the fact that it flip-flopped into Grimes being like, yeah, I totally feel disrespected by you and I want a match, to being totally petrified of having a match with them was a bit fucking stupid as well. But that was the only shite. And I don't know how you feel about this particular, I'm going to call it a cinematic almost, but there was just, it was fucking weird.
For me, I didn't really mind the Grimes stuff where he was like shitting himself, like, well, Mr. Regal, maybe you can come to the ring with me. And I didn't mind that. Yeah.
But you have to admit, when he's in the middle of a haunted house where he's already been scared by a few zombies and stuff like that, right? When he sees a woman in the shower and he decides to take his vest off and hop in the shower with her, like, apart from that being really kind of sexually weird, and stuff that, people are kind of getting done for the Grimes, like, why would you assume that was just a normal woman showering in a haunted house, you fucking lunatic?
That was definitely the low point, I think, where he was just like, oh, yeah, I didn't know Dexter Loomis had a sister. It's like, even if it was Dexter Loomis' sister, he's a fucking psychopath. So why would you... Yeah. Don't put your dick in there, as they say.
Yeah. But, it's Grimes, like, here's a hint, man. It's literally pitch black, and there's, like, already things that are scaring the shit out of you. Yeah. Chances are, if she's having a shower and not bothered by that, she's not the right type of lass for you anyway, man.
Well, exactly. But, like, no, like, I did, like, all in all, I didn't mind it that much. Like I can't sit here and go, well, the dinner debonair didn't bother me because it was like showbiz, and then be like shit all over this. I can't do it because, like,
I totally
it was different, and it was, it was Halloween, and it was meant to appeal to the horror fans, of people who love shit like fucking The Ring and It and stuff like that. So I get it. For me, did I enjoy the segment? No. And I enjoy Dexter Loomis a lot. I think he's fantastic. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you were like, it just didn't have enough Dexter Loomis. There was a lot of stuff where it was just him going, oh, I'm scared. Why is there a car coming for me? Oh, Mr. Regal, come to the ring. I believe it's in the ring now. No, there's a car.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And then goes to this place and it's like, well, now I'm going to shag your sister. I was like, what?
that was way the fuck out of left field, wasn't it?
So, yeah, I don't know. It didn't work.
No, I think you're right. Like that is the main problem, is that it was all Loomis, and why they rested it on Loomis's shoulders, I don't know. I know he's the only one who talks, but even so, like, what was this? Yeah. It might have even been a little bit too long. I might have enjoyed it more had it been the one segment, but they had a match in between the two parts of this.
Yeah.
Only because he was running back to the performance center. I was like, okay.
Well, I mean, one of the things that annoyed me about it was that it started off in a fucking, like, they took this fucking car to somewhere in this, like, fucking miles away to have this thing, and it ended up back in the ring. I'm just like, well, come on. Like, it wasn't like
the zombies were still there too.
Exactly, like, if it's for the fans, sound like it makes sense, because if I was a fan, I paid money to go and watch this match, and I was sat there in the audience, and it all took place on a fucking screen.
Yeah,
I'd be pissed. Right? But there's no fans, so there's no need to do that. It just didn't make any sense.
And to be fair, I did say I only had one shite, but I do need to mention it because it comes to my mind. Tables, ladders, and scares. Kind of a stupid concept, because the idea was that, like, she pulled the table out from under the ring and there was a bag of fake arms. That was the scare.
Well, it was scary.
Okay, if you say so. So that was kind of a stupid gimmick as well. Like, maybe just call it tables, ladders, and chairs. It was still on the Wheel of Chance. It was still part of the Halloween Havoc. It doesn't need to be some sort of Halloween-y gimmick.
Can I just say as well, a final thing from me?
Okay.
Big shout out to Shotzi, because I thought, considering she was the host, I thought she was good. She was like...
Yeah, I mean, for those who are purely relying on us for some reason, because it never hit a highlight or a no shite for me, but Shotzi did have a moment in a match as well, because she actually evened the odds when it comes to Candice LeRae's match, when the masked figure who helped
Although that pissed me off a bit, to be honest, because her interference did nothing, because the masked figure got Candice up, put her on top of the ladder, and fucked off. Shotzi got in and didn't do anything to Candice. And so
it's like, okay, she's still up there.
Exactly. So there was no advantage, because even if she didn't do all that, Candice still wouldn't have been awake enough to get the title. So it just didn't make any sense.
That's a valid point. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people have been saying, like, it's a break. Like, I think Triple H was like, it's a breakout moment for Shotzi. I don't agree with that, but at the same time, I thought, considering her role, is she injured or is she just not part of it? I don't really know.
No, I don't think she's injured, because she literally had a match the week before. So I don't know what the deal is. Like, they've gone, well, you're kind of quirky, so Halloween suits you, and you like to howl.
You can howl, so wolves howl.
And I honestly, I would prefer her if she kind of fucked the howling off.
Yeah, same.
Feels kind of
I mean, Shotzi Blackheart is the Cody Rhodes wet dream in terms of overbooking to the fucking nth degree. If she just she didn't have to come out in a fucking tank and doesn't have to do all this. Like, just come out and put on a good match and you'd be sound. Honestly, just do that.
Yeah. Anyway. You do have, like, proper good in-ring work, in all fairness. So overall, Carl, NXT for me this week is probably the highest it's been in a little while, but it's a 3 for me. It was a really good week. Not quite a 4 or a 5 in all fairness, but they had their sort of pay-per-view. At NXT are kind of going all over the place at the minute, because it's like Halloween Havoc, but it's still a normal week of NXT, and it's not a takeover, so it's not one of our pay-per-views, but it's still a thing. And they did this with the Great American Bash as well. So, it's not a normal week for NXT. So they have pulled out the stops, and it shows. And, not to get bogged down with all this, but I believe they did better in the ratings this week as well. And whilst I still prefer Dynamite, generally, I think this was probably, for me, neck and neck. I think they were both really good weeks.
You know what? I completely agree. I think Dynamite was weak this week, in my opinion. And I think...
Well, I'll tell you what, Carl. Do you want to... are you agreeing in terms of rating as well? Do you want to give your rating, and we'll go straight into NXT?
Yeah, for me, I gave NXT a 3 as well. So I think it was a really solid show. Obviously, it was helped by the fact it was more of like a little mini pay-per-view. But I thought honestly, it was really solid. So fair play. Dynamite, however. So the card obviously was continuing the world title eliminator bracket was kind of the main theme of the show. So we kicked off the show with Wardlow taking on Hangman Page in the semi-finals, yes, with Hangman.
Oh, it's a semi.
Picking up the win. Cowboy shit, yes it is. But no, Hangman picked up the win, and in a way that didn't make Wardlow look, like he wasn't strong. So
no, to be fair, this was executed really well for that sense, wasn't it?
Yeah. So in fair play, that was good. We had Eddie Kingston doing a bit of a tune-up match ahead of the Moxley fight, taking on Matt Sydal, with Kingston picking up the win. I don't think.
Sydal.
Yeah, I don't think there was any, doubt that would be the case. And we have FTR and the Young Bucks having a sit-down interview, with an announcement pending for their match.
Ooh.
Which was fucking stupid, and we'll come on to that. We have the Inner Circle Town Hall meetings. This is what's been brought up for quite a bit now. So obviously after the shenanigans with the dinner debonair the previous week, this was now the Town Hall meeting where people got to ask questions to both Jericho and MJF around why MJF should be in the Inner Circle. So entertaining, yes, but some things on that as well. We had the TNT title on the line, which was Cody taking on Orange Cassidy, with Cody retaining, this time more convincingly, but at the same time, not so much. As is Cody. We had the NWA Women's title on the line, and it wasn't Thunder Rosa. So anyone who doesn't know, Thunder, friend to the show, we love her.
We do.
She lost the belt to Serena Deeb at the latest, what show even was it?
It was the MLW, wasn't it?
MLW.
They're doing MLW Prime Time, I believe, to defend the title on there.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Thunder Rosa lost, but
and we knew it had to happen sometime, Thunder, and we know that obviously, this isn't the end, but we're still very saddened by the fact that you're not the NWA Women's title holder, and you're not on AEW. Where are you, man?
Well, as she has been quite vocal about, including on our stories, if you've been listening and watching, she's also shared quite a bit of that around. Everyone is talking about where is Thunder Rosa going to go next.
To the point,
ran a poll at this point.
I don't know if you saw it, Carl, but I loved it that she seemed to be in a UFC gear, so she was obviously doing some training. But she wrote NWA, AEW, and WWE with question marks on her leg.
Nice.
And then done a quick video where she went like that, like just having a little tease of like everyone's speculating where she's going. Nobody knows at this point. Yeah. I have my own beliefs, but it's not for me to say. So I'll keep stum on that. But
fucking say it, man.
No, I truly believe she's like. There's a belief that she's still in contract with NWA, which is probably very likely. But given what she said to us, and you can't take it as rich. She might have been keeping things close to her chest, which in all fairness she's entitled to do. But I couldn't see her going to WWE. A lot of people are like, she's going to WWE, but she is too impassioned about a lot of stuff that she's doing that WWE wouldn't want her to do. I can't see her going there, but that is just my opinion. Like, obviously, if she does, she does. That's down to Thunder. But that if you want it, that's my opinion on it. I can see her maybe AEW on a more of a mainstay, or just sticking with NWA until the contract runs, and then she'll go from there. Because apparently her contract's till 2021, if you believe the speculation.
Well, folks, you heard it here first. Anthony has got the
scoop. Like that, Carl. You're not even going to give an opinion on it. You're just going to leave it to me. I'm hang for this.
You have hung yourself now. So I'm free. No. Based on the interview we had with her, I can't see her going to WWE, as you said. I just don't think.
Not yet. Not yet.
I just think she's too. Obviously she's got Mission Pro. She's got like so many things that she's involved in, and I just don't think she'll be able to dedicate the time to that if she's at WWE.
Yeah.
So I can't.
At, like, at the minute, if you look on her stories, which obviously we follow her because she's a friend of the show. She's forgive me if I pronounce it wrong, but she's training for Combat Americas because she's going to do another she's only had one match in UFC, not UFC, in MMA.
Mm-hmm.
So she's looking to do more MMA as well. So, and I know what you're going to think. It's not impossible for people to do MMA and WWE, but it's very rare that WWE like them doing anything outside of WWE. Let's say maybe wanting to do a Twitch channel or something. So anyway, Serena Deeb had a match.
So yeah, Serena Deeb had a match defending the NWA Women's title against Layla Hirsch, with Serena obviously retaining the day after she won the belt. We then had Shawn Spears taking on BSK, with Shawn Spears picking up the win.
Did Shawn Spears spear?
Shawn Spears did not spear, but he had his glove, so Shawn Spears gloved.
But does Shawn Spears spears?
I heard Shawn Spears down by the seashore, but I don't think Shawn Spears is down by the shore. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was fine, right? That made sense.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think his sister's better.
But yeah, so he obviously won that match, unsurprisingly. And then the main event of the evening was the other world title eliminator, and we got to see Penta L0M as a replacement for Rey Fenix, who was out injured, taking on Kenny Omega, and it was not as much of a squash as it was for Kenny and Sonny Kiss last week.
And to be honest, rightly so, because it ruined a bit of the momentum that Penta L0 has had.
Yeah, definitely. So. And yeah, it was a really solid match, and Kenny ended up picking up the win, which means, as expected, and sometimes that is fine, we get to see Kenny Omega taking on Hangman Page.
Yes. Signposted to fuck? Yes.
Yes.
But do we want it? Yes.
We do. But at the same time, I have to agree with our friends FTR, where they've not left it enough time to book this shit. So it's happening the week after this week. Like they've got one show. One show to build it.
In some senses, like, they've done this a couple of times to us now, and I'm like, is it that you didn't expect to be able to do this? Are you that worried about COVID that everything's really short? I don't know.
Yeah, it seems weird. I feel like, this and FTR and
we're being critical of Dynamite, guys.
I know. We can do it sometimes.
We can.
I promise. But to just, I don't know what it is. Like, these two matches on their own, Omega and Hangman and fucking FTR and the Bucks, they deserve weeks of build, because they are the top of the echelon of what you could want to see for either of those guys. They are like... And,
credit to you for using the word echelon.
It was on me. It was on me word of the day calendar on the toilet roll. But yeah, so I don't know. But anyway, let's go into the actual show. Highlights wise.
Do it.
So the show kicked off with MJF saying, when Wardlow wins the tournament, the belt is going to be his anyway, because he owns Wardlow, because he pays his money, and therefore he will own his property.
Kayfabe.
Well, no, he owns him. Keeps him to sell. But so that happens, and then Sammy Guevara comes out and gets an MJF's face, which I'm always a fan of fucking Guevara and MJF. Always.
Oh yeah.
So that I was popping.
I'd have
for.
that feud.
I
was hoping they were kind of heading that direction. Like, if they aren't going to go full Jericho MJF just yet, like Guevara not being happy with him and being sort of pushed out with like, oh, we got him a coat, but it wasn't the right size and stuff. I'm all for that little mini feud before we get to the Jericho MJF stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no time for that, so we're going to go straight into Jericho and MJF, because
straight to it. Yeah.
Got a week's build.
A week.
But anyway, so yeah, Guevara comes out. He's not happy. He says, that he's going to make sure MJF doesn't join the inner circle. Nice little bit of animosity between the pair of them. But then he says, he's going to make sure that doesn't happen. And so, potentially we can end up seeing them guys face off beforehand, which I believe has been announced since. So we are going to see that. But yeah, I don't know. I just think, much to what we just said then, I think these guys are going to absolutely tear it up in the future as a feud. And it's a feud that I want to see. They have fought each other once or twice already, I think, based on my shit memory. And every single time I've seen them, they delivered. So I want to see that very much. And so the opening match was actually really good. So predictable, sure. But again, as we've already said, sometimes that's not really a bad thing. So Wardlow still looked really strong in this. It took Page 2 buckshot lariats in order to put him away. And even then, he was very close to kicking out. So what more can you ask for? Wardlow looked strong. which is what you want, and
Yep.
Hangman Page got through, which is what is expected. So, all in all, solid.
Solid booking.
Solid. We then got another strong promo from John Moxley. He was basically saying to Kingston that he's basically not going to just be defending the belt.
The defending.
The defending.
Sorry, John Moxley.
He's not just going to be defending the belt, but he's going to be weaponizing it in this
Oh,
feud.
nice.
And I thought that was like, oh,
Who's just going to wrap barbed wire around it? What?
Damn. Who knows? But basically, I don't know. I just think based out of nothing, this feud again. I don't know what it is.
I don't know whether
AEW, they don't build shit. They just don't build it. It just happens, and it's like
this is in some ways what's awesome is what's a bit of a detriment, because this does feel like it's been built out of nowhere, but we're loving it, and it's like you say, it wasn't signposted, it wasn't something I even knew I wanted, but they're doing a really good job with it. So like it feels really off the cuff, and I don't know if that's good or not. Because I didn't expect it, so that's good. But like we've not had enough build again. It's weird. It's a strange feeling. Why are you doing this to me, AEW?
Who knows? Who the fuck knows? But that being said, I think the promos and stuff like leading up to it have got me really invested. But a lot more than a lot of the other fucking main event feuds that we want to see have had, shall we say? But so that led to the match between Eddie Kingston and Matt Sydal, and it was fine. Did what it needed to do. Like, it wasn't bad by any means. It wasn't anything special, but the finish itself was quite good. So they kind of built up Eddie Kingston in the sense of like he was trying to get revenge or retribution or make Moxley aware. Because he finished it using Moxley's bulldog choke, the same thing that put him out when those two faced previously. So it was like him kind of saying that, I'm quite capable of doing the same thing. So yeah, I don't know. I thought it was quite good. I quite enjoyed it. And then after the match, he gets Sydal to go on and say that I quit ahead of the I quit match that they're going to have. So all in all, I was a big fan of this. I thought it did everything it needs to do to get that match over.
No, I'm quite a fan of that whole like the way Kingston booked it, like the way they booked Kingston Sydal, and he made a point of making him say I quit. Like, I don't know, like, because they've had a couple of things similar to that in WWE in the past, where they've like, as much as I really hate when everyone grabs the ladder when it's not a ladder match and you're just showing that you can climb a ladder, that does piss me off. With stuff like this, when he's showing his dominance and he's doing to Sydal what he plans to do to Mox, I think is a really good good mechanism for getting that across and getting his dominance across. I did enjoy that.
Nice. Agreed. So the next one was the town hall, which has been built up as being the kind of cornerstone in the decision between MJF and Jericho. What's going to happen? Will he join the inner circle? Won't he? Etc. Etc. And we still don't know. So it was a bit long. It was a bit unnecessary, in fairness.
I will say, like, this is kind of the problem for me, and I don't like to be critical of Dynamite, as you know, but we had MJF coming out and speaking to the whole inner circle, asking to be a member. Then next week we have Jericho and MJF just meeting up and apparently achieved nothing. Now we've got all of them in the ring again and nothing. And it's like, just get somewhere, man. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
We didn't need 3 weeks. How has this got more build than the tag title match?
Well, yeah, I was going to say that. I feel like this has had significantly more build than both Omega Hangman and the tag title matches, which, quite rightly deserved more build. And I get that Jericho's a bigger star, MJF's, on the cusp of being a bigger star, but yeah.
At the same time, I think they need to acknowledge that they have done a good job of building stars. Like, yeah, on day one, Jericho was a bigger star, so you book him stronger, and Moxley come along, so you book him stronger. Like, they've successfully built people up. FTR are a big deal since they've come in. Obviously, the Bucks are a massive deal anyway. How is that not just as prominent? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, massively. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about it as a segment. Like, weirdly, I'm probably more on the fence about this than I was the fucking Debonair the previous week. But like, my take on it was that it was fine. It was a bit long, so a bit like unnecessarily long. But it did what it kind of needed to do, in the sense of, MJF had tried to make his case. We had loads of other people come out and made, like, fucking Peter Avalon being like, I'm going to shoot my shot, I want to join the Inner Circle. It was like, that kind of stuff was a bit like, meh, like, that's pointless. But the whole point of it is MJF going to turn on Jericho? And that is the main question that everyone is asking. And then conversely, is Jericho going to turn on MJF? So,
for me, I think that's more likely if you want speculation.
Well, yeah, so I think the main outcome was, well, okay, Jericho said, well, do you know what? You've done all these things, MJF, but you never beat me. So he's like, well, I can go to some seriously bad places. And I think he was referencing, like, the Moxley feud and stuff like that. So I think, he's saying that it's not going to be a good night for Jericho. But like, I don't really know, because do I want to see MJF as part of the Inner Circle? No. But do I want to see MJF and take on Jericho? Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's one of them. Like, I don't know where this is going to go in terms of the match, right? And I think they've kind of booked that beautifully, because neither of them could take out Mox, and both of them come very close. Obviously, Jericho was defending at the time, but nevertheless, they both had a really close shot at Mox. So you don't really know who could come out on top of these two in a match. In all fairness, people people tend to forget that MJF is actually really good in the ring. But I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I have a feeling that they're going to have MJF join the Inner Circle and then spend his time trying to sort of take over the Inner Circle and undermine Jericho. And this will just be one of a few matches they have. I'm not sure how they're going to book it, but I feel like there's going to be a point of time when he is in the Inner Circle.
I mean, I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head in the sense of, how do we know what they're going to book? Because at this point, I honestly have no idea. Like, are they going to do that thing where MJF wins and then he's part of the Inner Circle and he accepts? Will MJF win and go, I never want to be part of it anyway? Will Jericho win? What does that mean for MJF? Like, I have no idea. But I think that's a rarity in pro wrestling. Like, normally I'm like, I think it's going to happen. Yeah, it happens. So for this,
and ever since Ladina Debonair, we honestly can never confidently say what's going to happen anymore on Dynamite.
Like, I question my daily choices after that, to be honest. Like, like, who knows what's going to happen when
you're there in work. Like, I mean, I'm confident they're not going to break out into song and dance, but I just don't know.
Oh no, I've got a Zoom call. Is it going to be a fucking sing song? Who knows? But yeah, so yeah, it was fine. But at the same time, yeah, I don't really know. That's not a bad thing, but just a bit like, could have been better, maybe.
No, I'll take your points. Yeah.
Then the main event was Kenny Omega taking on Penta, and it was really good. Do I think Phoenix would have been better? Yes, but it was what it was, and we got what we got. Yeah. So
situation is as it is. Yeah.
I think, to your point last week, I get what you meant about the whole entrance cleaner thing being a bit over the top. Like, I thought it was more of like a special entrance the previous week because it was like a year anniversary and that kind of thing. But
yeah, and I was like, well, we're going to do this all the time now.
Yeah, and it was a bit like, I get it on the one sense, because this guy, I've said it like every fucking time we talk about him, he's one of the best wrestlers today. And that often gets overlooked, especially in the American market. In Japan, him and Okada and people like that are seen as like the best. But in America, they're just a bit like, oh yeah, Kenny Omega, he's meant to be good in Japan.
Yeah. Like, so here's the thing. Like, I think it might help acknowledge this. Like, and I could be. Apologies if I'm speaking out of turn, but I have confidence in right on this. That the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are the only wrestlers outside of WWE to have action figures marketed in the US before AEW. Like, when they were New Japan, when they were more independent, outside of WWE figures, they were the only people you were getting. Like, that's how popular they actually were. That says a lot to me.
That's pretty good. I think MJF also maybe falls into that.
I don't know,
because he has got a figure. But that is
was it pre AEW though, the figure?
Oh no, it was AEW. So
all right, no, Omega and the Young Bucks had figures, and I believe Funko Pops before AEW. Like, I know they're a very small handful of people who can say that without being in WWE.
Damn. Okay. That is pretty big, I would say. I think were they Bullet Club at one point as well? Probably.
Yes, they were. I think they
Who
were all
hasn't
Bullet
been in
Club.
that?
Actually, there was. I think they did a storyline in New Japan, and again, apologies because I don't really follow New Japan, but I think they defected from the Bullet Club and became the Elite. I think that all spanned from New Japan, and from them leaving the Bullet Club.
Okay. I think we need to watch New Japan.
Maybe. To be honest, I would watch New Japan, like, time permitting, just purely for Tama Tonga. And I'm still waiting for Tama Tonga to turn up and take on Roman Reigns.
You have predicted that previously?
I at some point, that would be the best end to this. Like, Roman Reigns, tribal chief, everyone's on board. Everyone follows the tribal chief. He's beating Jay. He's beating Jimmy. He's beating The Rock, because that's going to happen at some point. He's like the top of the family. And then who comes along? Tama Tonga and the Gorillas of Destiny. Fucking that, it writes itself, man. That's got to happen. I want it to happen.
You see, it's so good it will never happen, and you will.
It's so good that it will never happen.
Yeah. But yeah, so in terms of the Dynamite, the final highlight. So the main event was good. I mean, it probably would have been better with Phoenix, but never mind. But I thought it was a really nice touch where Kenny was wearing the AAA mega title that he won from Ray Phoenix previously, as a way to like piss them off. And I thought that was like so good. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it was always going to go one way. I think we knew that, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. We're going to get Hangman versus Omega, and it's going to be fucking epic. The only shame is, as I've said consistently, is it doesn't get any build. And same.
I think that's the thing. Like, I think the mistake they're making is that they think the slow dissension between them two as a tag team is the build, but it's not really. Like, we haven't built this match properly.
No,
like, it's all very almost accidental, really, isn't it? Like, they both happen to have gone to the finals in the tournament, so it's not even a deliberate sort of fruition of their sort of growing disdain for one another.
Yeah.
You're totally right, and I think you've even coined it in the notes that there's been 1 week of proper build, because there's been some level of like, oh, they're not really a big fan of each other at the minute, are they? But there's not been anything proper. Not been anything set in, like a decent actual proper feud being built up here.
Yeah, I think obviously you've had the whole commentary spots with the Omega coming out going, well, no, I'm a single star, and Hangman, is a tag team star, whatever, blah blah blah. And it's like, well, now it's coming up to this, and it's like, you've not spoke or interacted on television since the tag team title loss. Yeah. So unless Dynamite this week is going to be fucking such an explosion between them two, really, you've got a week to build it. Just seems like a waste.
It does feel a bit that way.
And do you know what? Like, honestly, I don't want to shit on them, because I think, if you take out all the stuff around the build, whatever, the matches are absolutely where we ended, like where we wanted to end up being. Like, these are all the matches that make sense. It's just the build which is what's letting them down.
Yeah, no, I agree. We can go into Full Gear confidently knowing that the matches are going to be fucking decent.
Yeah.
But why haven't they hyped them more? It just makes sense.
Yeah. So the Oshites. So I've said it before, I will say it again. The FTR Bucks shenanigans are pretty shit. So this week they had a sit-down promo. And you know what? It doesn't make any fucking sense, Anthony. It doesn't make any sense. So not only have like the whole Bucks thing with them super kicking people and whatever been fucking stupid for weeks now. Not only that, but they win the opportunity to get the tag title shot. So they're going to go against FTR. That's what we all want to see. And then Matt Jackson goes, well, I've also added a stipulation that if we don't win the titles, we'll never challenge again. And it's like, what a fucking idiot you are, because you've won the opportunity to win the belt. Why do you then add a fucking stipulation that puts yourself at risk? Like, with Cody, it sort of made sense.
Yeah, like this.
Buy into it.
Yeah, it makes, like you say, like, in this sense, it's like, yeah, all you've done is put yourself at risk. What was the point?
Yeah.
Especially because they're playing the heels. When Cody did it, he wasn't a heel.
Exactly. When, like Cody was like, do you know what? I'm going to face constant fucking people going, oh, well, you're going to book this for yourself, because of my position. I'm telling you now, if I don't win this, I will never challenge again. It all made sense. He was a face. amazing, right? The Bucks, they've just won this fucking tournament that they were drawn out of just by chance.
Just by chance.
They won it, and then now they're like, okay, we've won it, we're gonna get a title shot, and now if we don't win it, we're gonna never challenge again.
Here's the thing for me.
Aye.
I don't know if you agree with this or not, Carl, right? Because I do agree with you. It's a stupid stipulation to add, especially for them to add it. But this, to me, straight away, this signposts now. I'm going into full gear knowing that the Bucks are going to win.
You think?
I'll say it now, because they're not going to pull the exact same thing that they did with Cody. They've mirrored Cody's thing in going, I'll never challenge again. So they're going to win. And they're going to become more conceited, more arrogant, and proper heels when they do win.
See, I don't know. Like, if that happens, I don't see them as the heels and FTR as the baby faces. I just don't see it at this point. I feel like everything that's gone on so far, the Bucks feel like they're forcing it on a weekly basis. Like, we're bad guys because we super kick announcers. And it's like, ooh. But like FTR aren't doing anything to come over as like, baby faces. They're just coming out going, like, if anything, they're quite heelish as well. I feel like they just don't have any concept of like, and I know Cody came out a while ago and was like, well, we don't have heels and faces, we just have people.
Yeah, and then proceeded to then have definite bad guys in the next few weeks.
Well, yeah. So, if you take that into account, fair dues, but at the same time, you've got a lot of face versus face, heel versus heel action going on in AEW at the minute. Yeah. And I think for the Bucks and FTR, I think the pair of them are just tweeners. They're not either way, here or there. So
yeah. Admittedly, with what I'm saying, I didn't really think about FTR like after the fact, but I do honestly. I don't think they're going to pull this twice.
No,
I don't think they're going to have the Young Bucks and Cody who are never able to challenge for these top belts. And because of that, I now think that they're going to win. And I'm going into the pay-per-view thinking that they're going to win because I don't think they're going to pull this shit twice.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what it's done to me.
Well, Anthony, I hate to do it, but I've got another shite, and it is Cody versus Orange Cassidy. It was much worse than the previous one, in my opinion. Again, the overbooking was a problem. We didn't need the Lumberjacks. Dark Order got involved. Fucking Arn Anderson cheap-shotted Orange Cassidy, and like it was just so like, other than Brandy being at ringside and get taken out by someone, it was like the most overbooked thing that you've ever seen. And it's just standard with Cody, and I don't get why he does it. Just have a match. Do you know what I mean? I just don't understand it.
To be honest, like, it was in this that I'm like, I don't think they fully know what they want out of Cody anymore. Because I thought he would turn them heel. Like, the frustration, the way he was keeping his title run, and the frustration he was having with Arn was him slowly becoming heel. But now Arn's doing heely things, and Cody has like fought to get his title back. And I'm like, what is it you're going for? I'm not even sure, if I'm honest.
Well, Cody went full heel, dyed his hair black, came out angry heel, and then was like, nah, I'm good again. And then came out blonde the following week. So,
like, what the hell? Like,
I don't know. Like, I just think, I don't know. I think the first match they had was much better. This one just felt a bit laboured, and the Lumberjacks didn't make any sense. The whole fucking Dark Order getting involved, and then Arn Anderson getting involved as well, just was, I don't know. I just thought it was shit. Yeah. So
I'm with you. I think this is a definite overbooking, a definite one.
Yeah. And then, so NWA Women's title, Deeb Hirsch. It wasn't terrible, but most of it was part of an ad break. And I think AEW get a lot of flack because, NXT, for example, at the pay-per-view just gone, well, it wasn't pay-per-view, for Halloween Havoc, we had the two penultimate matches was Rhea Ripley and fucking Raquel Gonzalez or whatever she's called. And then the next one was Io Shirai and Candice LeRae. Like, they were the two main events, if you will, and it was all women. So fine, AEW barely gives time. And it was Deeb Hirsch. Most of it was in the commercial break, and then Deeb ends up getting the win. Also, her pre-match promo, it felt shaky, and she has done a lot of promos in front of a lot of people, and she's that veteran. She's got the experience, and it just felt a bit like she was nervous and shitting herself, and it didn't really make any sense.
This is the thing for me. Like, I think she's been a victim of the fact that Thunder Rosa is infinitely better.
Mm.
Like, and I'm trying to be careful the way I say it, because my instinct is to go like Thunder Rosa is more the veteran, but she's not. I can't even say that about Deeb, but the fact of the matter is Thunder Rosa's better at her craft, and I don't mean that as any disrespect to Deeb, but like when you saw Thunder Rosa go up against Hikaru Shida, they elevated each other. That match was awesome because of that. Deeb has gone up against someone who hasn't elevated her, and she hasn't elevated, so the whole thing just fell a bit flat for me. And sadly, that's down to the fact that they didn't work well together. And I'm not totally putting Deeb down. I just think that if like Deeb having a match with Thunder Rosa, yeah, that'd work. Deeb having a match with anyone who can help elevate her would work. But sadly, in this scenario, she was the one who was meant to elevate her, and it didn't work.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I just felt like, and I know it was like one day after she won the belt, and she travelled and whatever, but it just felt a bit like, meh. Do you know what I mean? And I think
I'm totally with you. And like I'm being careful to say no disrespect to Deeb, because I do think she's very talented, and I look forward to seeing what happens going forward. I mean, she's the NWA Women's Champion now, and signed to AEW, so that's interesting. But this match wasn't the best.
No, agreed.
No.
And unfortunately, the final shite is worse. So this, for me, was probably the worst squash match of all time. So Sean Spears comes out with his little glove, and he's in a match with VSK, that guy that no one knows who he is. And we have a match. And after about 10 seconds, he hits his Death Valley driver and crawls over slowly and gets a really slow pin. And it was like, that's the first move you've hit. There's no way, like, the guy didn't even look knocked out. He was just a bit like this. And it was like, you would try and kick out. Like, the thing that pisses me off about wrestling, I remember this, and I'm sorry to go into a big, massive rant now.
No,
but
you rant away, my friend.
From my old school wrestling training, I remember my trainer saying to me, the thing about wrestling and the thing about WWE is the pins look fake. They lie there, and they're like this. Like, you should be trying to fight out with that pin. Like, you should be, and it should be a case of trying to hold you down and make you fucking, like, be pinned. And they sit there now, and, like, this guy, this VSK, got a fucking Death Valley driver, and he lay there like this, and he pinned him, and he just didn't move. And it's like, well, hang on. You're not knocked out because you don't look knocked out. You're still doing all this with your head, and you're still doing all this with your hands. And it's like, you would kick out. Like, it's just logic sometimes. Like, I don't understand the psychology of wrestlers where they don't understand that.
I get what you're saying, like, and this was probably down to VSK maybe overselling like the movement while he was being pinned. But at the same time, like, this was a really shocking booking, because like I'm all for a squash. Sometimes it's appropriately placed, but we're at a point with Sean Spears now, right, where we're not seeing him a lot anyway. He needs to go up against someone who's going to give him a match, so we can go, fuck, he's actually good in the ring, because he is good in the ring. But we haven't seen a lot of that in AEW. Not to be, again, I feel like I'm being really critical this week, but not to be too critical. Like, we've not seen a lot of him and his in-ring work in AEW, or Dynamite, should I say. And they need to put him against someone who we know, and someone who we know is good in the ring, and we can see them both help each other out. This was going to be a squash, obviously, and it wasn't a very good one. And this hasn't done nothing for VSK, it's done nothing for Sean Spears. Fucking stupid.
Agreed.
And your fucking glove.
Your fucking glove. So, Anthony, that was Dynamite this week. And it's quite a low score for me, really, to Dynamite. I'm going to give it a 3. I think it was on par, if not, like, not enough to get a half point lower, but if not slightly worse than NXT this week. I
alluded to it before, and I'm going to stick with my guns. I think they were in the same camp as one another this week. And like you say, it was neck and neck, and you've been ballsy more than I have, Carl, to slightly tip it towards NXT. I'm going to say they were firmly the same as each other. Like, there was not. There might have been something negligible in it, but they were both worth watching, but they were both not the best in them. Yeah, just one of them. But I will say, credit to Dynamite that NXT had to pull out basically a pay-per-view to hit that So, still says a lot.
True.
So, should we talk about some SmackDown, Carl?
Let's lay the SmackDown.
Let's smack them down.
Right.
I know, it probably didn't work. Let's cut that. Right. So, we open the night, Carl, with a Roman Reigns / Jey Uso promo.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk some more about that shortly. We then have our first match of the night, which is Kevin Owens going up against Dolph Ziggler, with Kevin Owens taking the win. And this is a Survivor Series qualifier match. So Kevin Owens is now part of the Survivor Series team. Get in.
And he wears jeans, so that's good.
Yeah. We then cut to a women's triple threat match, which is another Survivor Series qualifying match between Bianca Belair, Billie Kay, and Natalya, with Bianca Belair taking the win. Slightly predictable, but okay, I'll work with that. We had the Murphy and the sorry, I had to swallow that back. The Murphy Aaliyah segments. We'll talk some more about that shortly. We had the Street Profits going up against Cesaro and Shinsuke.
Cesaro. The late Sean Connery. We pay our respects when we talk about Cesaro.
Oh, wow. What a way of bringing that in. I like
Topical.
So we had the Street Profits going up against Shinzaro, with the Street Profits taking the win. We had Daniel Bryan going against Jey Uso, with Jey Uso taking the win. Bit surprising, but kind of makes sense to what's going on. And then we close the night with a Roman promo, because you can't have just one. Now, they're very Moorish now. Very Moorish. So as highlights go, Carl, let's talk about some highlights. So, again, Roman and Uso and Jey. Yeah, brilliant work. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Roman, again, he's still taking the mic, and I'm still okay with it. It's fine. Jey ultimately becoming this reluctant heel and siding with him after his match with Bryan, and Roman sort of barking out the orders, like, basically prove your loyalty and like ruin Bryan and stuff. And Bryan being the one who is the person who's going to, like, he's sort of historically this underdog, isn't he? So it makes sense that he was almost, in a way, that he was the legend who put this over. The whole thing worked for me, both the beginning promo and the end promo. I really like what they're doing with this. And okay, I don't want to see it go on forever. I need to see Roman go up against some other people. But, we've now got Jey in the fold. He's now part of the gang of Roman. He's going to follow the chief. And the way they executed it, from Hell in a Cell, from before Hell in a Cell to now, I think is worked so well. And it makes sense why Jey's like give in and gone, yeah, okay, I relent, you win. So
I thought Roman's promo was good. It was solid. Yeah. I thought, is it Jey? Jimmy?
Jey. Jimmy's the other guy.
I thought Jey's promo was a bit over the top. He was a bit too sad.
Don't be wrong. It was getting a bit soap opera-y with the full-on crying and like, why you do this to me, man? And all this. Like, yeah, fair enough. But
that was a bit over the top for me, I thought.
But he was, he was acting his ass off when he was trying to get that emotional turmoil over. Credit where credit's due, Carl. It's the first time he's been in the main event.
I get it, but at the same time, he didn't kill his twin brother. Like, he literally...
he beat him up a little bit.
Yeah. Just a bit too much. A scotch too much, I thought, from Jey. But
a scotch.
I thought Roman was fantastic. He was so clinical. He was just like such a twat, wasn't he? And
do you know what? This is the bit that really frustrates me, WWE. Like, he is such a good heel that I'm like, well, why didn't you do this sooner? I've hated Roman for years because of you guys.
Yeah, and like, he was just so calm. He was just like, well, yeah, you should be sorry. It was like, yeah, he's his boss.
Unreal. Like, even at the end when he was basically instructing him to take out, like, or to carry on attacking Bryan. It wasn't even done with words. He was just like, you know what you have to do, kind of thing. And he's such a good heel. He's such a good bastard.
Yeah,
who knew?
Agreed.
I'm going to attempt a bit of positivity now, Carl. I hope you're going to join me for this one. Aaliyah Mysterio is actually improving in the ring. Not in the ring match-wise, because we've not seen her have a match. She's becoming a lot less wooden than she was on Raw. I think she's getting a bit more comfortable with the old promo front. And that's the only credit I'm going to give this. And I hope you're going to join me on this, Carl, because she is also in the Oshites.
I mean, based on the head shaking that I've just just done. I hope you can realise that I will not be backing you on this decision.
You then, Carl.
She, yeah, she's not an actress. She's not a
She's
wrestler.
not.
She's
But
got no
you
business.
you can't tell me she's as bad as she was on Raw a few weeks back.
She's not much better, if I'm honest.
She's improving though.
Nah,
I'm trying to be a positive guy here, Carl.
I get it, and but I can't agree with you on it. I just think she's been awful.
Fine.
Awful.
No, it does majorly hit the O'Shea to the sex, so we'll get on to that. But my last highlight, Carl, and I'd be interested to get your take on this. Whilst it was a very oddly placed triple threat match, and to be honest, I've moaned before about the fact that they pull talent in from the other roster. They have this big draft, and then they put them up against other Raw talents and stuff like that. That's exactly what they did here. This triple threat was 3 people who came from Raw, right? And the women's division, in all fairness, has been totally ransacked by Raw. You cunt. Sorry, this was a highlight. The triple threat match itself was really good. And in actual fact, I want to give a shout out to Natalia, because this is the best I've seen her in a long time. Because all I've seen from her in a long time is throwing tantrums, which was a weird gimmick, and tag teaming with Lana, which didn't really it got us some more airtime, but it didn't really get a lot of in-ring time in terms of like looking good. This was actually a really good match between the 3, and it worked beautifully in a sense, because you had like Bianca Belair coming in as the fresh one. You had Natalia as the legend. You had Billie Kay as this sort of I don't know, outside chance maybe, but it all worked. It all I thought it was actually a really good match, and I think credit to Natalia there being the vet in the ring. She really helped get that across. Your take on it, Carl? Which is different, I can tell.
I don't want to disagree with you on everything. I just didn't get it. I feel like for the women's division for SmackDown for Survivor Series, when you haven't got much of a women's division anyway, why do a triple threat match and have Bianca Belair win? Of course you would, because she's like the standout. But at the same time, like, what is Billie Kay? What is Natalia going to do now? They've got nothing. They've got nothing to do, and it's like, really, who else is going to make up that SmackDown women's team?
Well, this is the problem, and I'll go into my next O'Shea because it seems to fall nicely for that. And that is the fact that the women's division, especially for SmackDown, has been torn to bits. Like, what have we got left? Like, and that is one of my O'Shea's that the match, the women's match we had was 3 people who were from Raw. If you look at what we had, like, all the good stuff from SmackDown's gone. You know, Lacey Evans is gone, Nikki Cross is gone, Alexa Bliss is gone, other names. But like, then we look and we go, okay, we got Zelina Vega, who isn't really known for being an in-ring talent. We got Carmella, who is just going to keep doing vignettes forever and a day, I think, because I don't know, she's never going to turn up again. We've got these 3 now. Like, who have we actually got women's roster wise? Naomi's even gone over to Raw, so we're fucked. Like, what's SmackDown got?
Like, for me, like, legit, who is going to make up that 5-woman SmackDown team?
I honestly don't know. Like, at this point, I'm like,
so you got Bianca. Who else? Like, who else?
All the good talent. If Raw doesn't win this, I'll be surprised. Well, Zelina's probably going to be on there. I imagine Carmella's going to. I think that's probably going to be Carmella's return. In all honesty.
Okay. Well, even if that happens, you got like 2. Like, who?
Yeah, another 2. I can't. I'm struggling to think of any more wrestlers, female wrestlers who are on SmackDown.
None.
Whereas Raw, on the other hand, you can put a team of like, all right, Alexa's probably not going to be in it because she's busy, but you got Nikki Cross, you got Lacey Evans, you've got the other one. Well, Peyton Royce is probably going to be in there because
is the Riot Squad on SmackDown now?
The Riot Squad, I don't know. I feel like they were still on Raw, but it makes sense to have them come over because they need people.
I mean, we've not seen them, have we? But I think they might be on SmackDown, so maybe they'll be the final 2.
I hold out hope that they will join that, because that would help a lot, because I was struggling to think of women who are currently on SmackDown, but that you might be right on that. I think they might have moved over. Otherwise, Raw really fucking done a number on them. Right, so my next O'Shea, Carl, and I'll let you have your full rant now. The whole Murphy and Aaliyah stuff. the fuck is this? Like, it's notably like I've looked on social media and that most people are really uncomfortable with the age difference, and you get some people who weirdly are like, she's 19, it's fine. It's like, no, that's
How
still
old is she,
kinda
Anthony?
weird. She's 19, Carl.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I got it right this time.
Not 21.
Not 21. So, it's still kind of weird, right? And people are a little bit uncomfortable with this whole kiss scene that they did. And I'm a little bit like uncomfortable with Rey Mysterio, the amount of times he puts his kid into really weird angles that he should find uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's both of his children now.
I think as well, the acting was awful. Like, even for a kiss scene, it was like something you would see in a fucking High School Musical play. Like, it was so bad. It was just like, looking at it, like, as a casual fan, if you tuned into this show, you would go, what the fuck am I watching? And as a fan who watches it religiously, I'm looking at it going, what the fuck am I watching? Because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, I get it, okay, it's a very quick love, thing that you feel for this Murphy guy based on nothing, by all accounts. But, she's turning on whole family and putting her whole fucking love and faith into Murphy. It's not going to end well, is it? She's going to be seen as a silly girl that she said she wasn't, and Rey Mysterio will be right, and Dominic will be right, blah, 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 blah. But I don't get it. What is the point in the segment? Seth Rollins is probably one of your flagship stars, of the whole fucking SmackDown show now that the draft has happened. What is he doing? He's a bit part player in a fucking love angle with fucking Murphy and Aliyah. What?
Yeah. It's really strange. But again, this is probably up there with how strange the whole custody of Dominic match was. He's now trying to pry his daughter away from the arms of a 30-odd-year-old man. Because
what is it with Ray? He's either putting his kid up for custody, getting his eye popped out, or watching his fucking 19-year-old kid fucking cop off with a 40-year-old.
Yeah. And then Vince is in the background like, this is, yeah.
It's good shit.
So, the whole thing, it's stupid. It's weird. It's uncomfortable. It's Mysterio. I don't know why I put this in the O'Shites, Carl. I've really mislabeled this. I just wanted to have a quick note. This is actually going back to the highlights for a sec here, guys. Cesaro is an absolute beast.
That's fucking shit,
that was sat in my O'Shites for some reason. He's an absolute beast. Like, as much as you kind of overlook the tag match, and I'm still not enamored on him being in a random tag team because they keep just putting him with people and going, you'll be a tag. Cesaro is awesome. Like, he really made whatever good parts of that match were. He made them. He fucking ragdolled the I want to say Ford, might have been Dawkins, into the
it was Ford, yeah.
What you would call the audience now, I guess. He helped them to come across better in the ring than I've seen them be in a long time. But I need to give a bit of credit to Cesaro because he really is underutilized in this company, and he is really fucking good at what he does. Just want to say.
No pushback from me.
Right. The last O'Shea, Carl. You ready for this one? We decided to sit down. Not me and Carl, because we wouldn't fucking do that. But WWE decided to sit down with the Freak, Lars Sullivan, who decides to open straight away going, oh, you want to call me the Freak, don't you? It's like, well, yeah, like, you've probably watched SmackDown the last couple of weeks. You know that's what we're calling you, so why are you petty about it? Don't know? But it's okay. People call him the Freak anyway. He's always been a freak. It's like, you've always been a slightly larger than average man. You're not big by WWE standards, so in what way are you freakish other than pestering women online? Your nickname would be more appropriate being the cunt, right? But they were too much.
No, brilliant. I love it.
But they tried to then give. Do you know what they were going for with this, Carl?
No idea.
Were they going for sympathy? Because he starts talking about this like schoolyard bullying thing where he may have killed people.
I think the first fucking culture shock was hearing him speak in the first place.
I know, right?
I never expected.
This guy made by Jim Henson. What the fuck?
I never expected the Freak to sound like that. it's a whole different level of thing, isn't it? Like he's
look, at the end of the day, he's a big muscular guy, right? I'm confident he could probably just face to face, he would probably beat the shit out of me, right? Let's be honest, right? But I could never be intimidated by him because of that voice.
Yeah. It was definitely a shock, shall we say, to hear him speak for the first time.
Yeah.
I don't think he should be speaking going forward. I just don't think he is.
Yeah, he needs a Heyman.
He does.
I think this is another segment. Who needs a Heyman?
Who needs a Heyman?
Segment but honestly, it didn't work. It kind of ruined his whatever level of intimidation he had hearing him talk.
I mean, sorry to interrupt you. Even
No.
disregarding the whole accent or the voice or whatever, the fucking weird story he told about I was a kid and I've always been called a freak. They used to sing, you're a freak, freak show, you're a freak, and then I cried. I cried a lot, and then what they did? They laughed at me, and then do you know what happened? They didn't laugh anymore. Those laughs turned to screams. I'm Lars Sullivan, but you're going to call me the freak. That was pretty much the promo, wasn't it?
Yeah. But this thing, and they kind of slightly suggest that those kids may be dead now.
Well, to be honest, I was hoping it went that way. I was hoping he was like, well, do you know what happened? I killed them. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, and then you find out he was in his 20s when this happened. But
I was on a porn set somewhere. Killing these kids. Marty Jannetty was there. What? Anyway.
But honestly, the way the story went kind of made it seem like they were going for sympathy with him. But I really hope they're not, because this did not help him at all. This was weird.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I can describe it. It was weird. What? He's gone from being kind of boring and unlikable to just fucking weird. Let's see where they go with this. I don't know. He's even Gene Snitsky had more character than this guy, and all he ever did was claim it wasn't his fault. And it clearly was. So, that's my last O'Shea, Carl. The whole Lars thing, kind of weird and stupid.
Kind of weird and stupid. Yep, agreed.
So, as a rating goes, Carl, my rating for SmackDown, I'm going to give it 2.5. There was some good stuff here. Wasn't bad. Wasn't great. You're probably going to give it less. I want to predict this now because you didn't like as much as I did. But overall, it was okay. It was very middle of the road.
I'm going to give it a 3.5. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. It's going to get a 2 from me. I think it wasn't bad for a SmackDown. To be fair, the previous weeks, I thought, oh my God, they've taken all the good talent, put it on Raw, and then SmackDown is just going to live to die now. But I think, in fairness, getting a 2, I think it was on par with Raw this week. And I think the fact it was only 2 hours helped, of course. If it was a 3-hour show, it definitely wouldn't be. But
I mean that's kind of most of Raw's problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's too long now.
Yeah, so. But no, I thought a 2 for me. I thought it was on average for Raw.
Okay. So that was this week in wrestling, guys. We hope you enjoyed.
We do.
And that is another week of 8 to the Cage WrestleTalk.
It is.
As always.
As a reminder.
Oh.
As a reminder, before you get your reminder, don't forget, you can get your merch.
Hang on, let's go full Randy with it. Oh, that didn't sound right.
Okay, I'm just going to get rid of Anthony's video while he goes full Randy with the merch.
Where's the shirt gone?
I'm worried that my face is on that merch, but it's okay. But no, obviously we have released merchandise, so please check it out. You don't have to buy it, but check it out anyway. Because why not? Good to look at shit, right?
Good fun.
Good price as well. We don't make much money on it. We want to make sure the fans are getting a good deal, and that's what we care about. But if anyone is out there listening, of the thousands of people who listen to our stuff, for some crazy reason, you can buy our merchandise now. We do have more merchandise upcoming as well. But as you can see, we are modeling it. We have a sex pods. We have the demo pod.
The demo pod.
A to the K logo. We have the shirt business.
Wrestling.
Whiskey and Wrestling. We have shitload of stuff.
And we're coming up with more. Anytime we have a stupid idea, we're going to put it on a shirt. So that's cool.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you've got stupid ideas for us to put on a shirt, let us know. But no, I just think I'm going to be self-reflective now. It may be the not whiskey, but the wine talking tonight. But at the same time, I just think in such a short amount of time, we're not even a year old, we've interviewed Thunder Rosa. We've just come off the phone with Griff Garrison.
We have.
Fucking up-and-coming, super sound, sweetheart.
Again, we pride ourselves on spotting people who are going to be legends in the making. And that is one of the reasons we wanted to interview Griff Garrison. And he was up for the interview, and mark our words, there's going to be a point when he's going to be a massive star, and we're going to be trying to milk this interview at that point as well.
Exactly. And we will be absolutely, we're not the kind of guys that like to say we told you so, but
we definitely
told you so. Definitely, just again to Griff, he's been an absolute sweetheart. Through the whole thing, we've messaged him, we arranged it all. He had some personal stuff that he had to take care of, and then he's come back. He's super apologetic, super amazing with us and stuff. So
just an all-round awesome guy. If we lived anywhere near him, we'd buy him a drink. He's a sound guy.
We would, absolutely. But no, I just think, we bring to the close another episode of A to the Cage Wrestle Talk, donned in our beautiful merchandise, interviewing our second mainstream wrestling superstar, out-of-body experience, looking down on it all.
What?
I'm a ghost. Help. But no, I just think, amazing times. And, for two best buds who decided one day to do a podcast, just for a way to hang out and chat some shit and stuff to be where we are today. Thank you all for listening.
Indeed. We do, sincerely. And obviously, I'll end as I always end, and I'll say, check us out on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on, I think I made a Tumblr the other day, even though there's nothing on there just yet. We're also on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube. Go on, like, subscribe, do all that. Anywhere you find your podcast, you can listen to us. You can now get the merch. We have our own website, atothek.co.uk. We literally couldn't put ourselves out there any more than we do.
Exactly. I think if we put ourselves out there anymore, we would probably be under arrest for whoring at this point. So, as Anthony said before, we don't really make any money at all from this. We just do it because of the fact we love it. If you do want to sponsor us by buying a shirt, or a mug or a phone case, awesome. Please do so. Yeah. And even if not, just follow us and stuff, because we do post some cool shit as well. So, we're not in this for the cash. We're in this for the fun. And that's where you guys come in. So.
Here for the laughs.
Here for the laughs. That is it.
So, as always, guys, we'll see you all next week.
Take care, guys.